Chromaticism in jazz. I gotta make this one real quick. I got a gig with Poon Cakes. Poon Cakes dropped me off some t-shirts today. I'm like the charity case, you know what I'm saying? If your clothes don't fit, bring them to Big Mama. I mentioned this in another video the other day, but I didn't finish my story. So I was teaching this guy, and he kept going like this during the lesson. Like stuff like that. And it was kind of driving me nuts, and I was like, what's the deal? And he's just like, getting frustrated. He goes, I watched your video. How come what I do doesn't sound like what you do? I was like, what? And I had done this G blues video, so of course there was chromatic. There were chromatic passages in there. Guys, the chromaticism in jazz has pretty much nothing to do with the chromatic scale. You're not going to sit there and go. That doesn't happen. Chromaticism in jazz has to do with sort of passing tones, filling in blanks, filling in spaces between notes, targeting chord notes. So you've got a target note and you might go above it or below it. You kind of come at it from different angles. That's chromaticism in jazz, like, over a 2-5, like a G minor to C7. You'll hear Charlie Parker go like something. He's approaching. The chord notes, you can't think of the chromatic scale. You need to think of the chords and the arpeggios, and those chord tones are going to define your single note playing. So many guys are trying to play over jazz changes, and they don't know the chords. You've got your information, right? You've got your scale chord relationships. Let's say you've got, okay, I can play G Dorian over this, I can play C altered over that. It's not that simple. You listen to any great blues, you listen to B.B. King play the blues, probably one of the simplest but most effective blues players ever. I can't just say, yeah, it's just the blues scale. And then your B.B. King, it's just. There's a lot to it. You got to learn. One of the best ways to do it is just learn the vocabulary. Learn some Charlie Parker, Sonny Stitt, the old Coltrane stuff, like off, any of his older stuff before he started getting like the Love Supreme, which is awesome. But that stuff started getting more modal and more out there, and he was experimenting as he was developing as a musician. But yeah, the chromaticism, the chromatic scale is useless. It's of no consequence in jazz. You're never going to use it. You might hear sax players kind of, and again, this is not the chromatic scale. If I go, I'm throwing chromatic passing tones in there, but they're connecting. So it has nothing to do with the chromatic scale working. If you want to work on the chromatic scale for technical purposes. It does nothing for knowledge on the instrument. It does nothing. You have to use those things quarterly or within a scale. Just because it's called chromaticism does not mean it's being derived from that chromatic scale. It's just you're just approaching other notes. And I remember somebody saying, well, the chromatic scale has everything already, so why not just... I was like, oh my God, like, if you're making why don't you just throw all the ingredients in everything, and then you'll be making a pizza, a chocolate cake, chicken cordon bleu, and some freaking bull balls. You know what I'm saying? You'll be making everything at the same time. It doesn't work that way. Same thing with like melodic minor guys. Melodic minors. Guys will say, oh, it's just a major scale with a flat third. If that helps you learn it initially, yeah, you could say that. I mean, I look at it as a minor scale with a natural 6 and 7. And the reason for that is because it's a minor scale, it's not a major scale. In other words, when they do that type of thing, they're thinking, oh, I just have to I have to alter one note from the major scale and then I'll know my melodic minors. Well, it's not a computer program. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to know your melodic minors. It's the same thing with my tuning. I tune in fourths now. And people will say, so, oh, so I just have to play everything down a half step on the first 2 strings. I'm like, yeah. And I go, so it's like, Jesus. But anyway, there's a lot of work involved with whatever you do. Don't be afraid of that. But yeah, chromaticism is not the chromatic scale. Working on this is not going to help you. You need to work on arpeggios for your A minor 7. Then you can use chromaticism within that.